to my quilting life. It's Sunday, so Sunday. Or I'm going to make another panel window attic window quilt. Wow, I couldn't get that one out. But before I get started, let's see who's here. We got Susan, Kay, Karen, Joanne, Brenda, Catherine, Marlene, Rachel, Judy, Joyce, Dawn, Vicky, Susan, and so many more because my thing just cut out for the live thing. No, it's trying to go to an ad or something. I have no idea. Anyways, all right. So today we are going to make another window pane quilt, but totally different. It's not going to be the same as the last one. It'll be a different style, and I will show you how to do that. It's basically the same thing. I'm just pretty much trying to show you that you can do any style window you want with your quilt. So I'm just giving you ideas here. So this time we are going to work with a duck real tree panel, but we're going to get rid of the real tree thing on it. But it has a duck in the center. And we are going to try to keep the duck in the center, or as best as we can, because we're going to cut this and, you know, have fun with it. And then to go with my duck, I have this lovely border fabric that I'm going to use. I'm going to use white and this taupe color. It's tan, taupe, whatever you want to call it, as my shadow for the window part, so the window pane and the shadow of it. And then same as last time, I'll use black to create my window pane separator part. And it should go super easy, but we're going to change the numbers. I think we used like 2.5-inch strips last time. So we're going to change all that up and change the cutting of the panel and so on and so forth. So we're just going to have fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and move all this out of my way, and we're going to cut some background fabric before we, no, actually we're going to cut the panel, then cut background fabric. So what I'm going to do is get right to it, and I don't want to use, this is that real tree part I was telling you about down here on the bottom. I don't want that in my window, so I'm going to actually cut that out and then cut the whole panel to a size. This also has like little Advantage Max HD in it, just randomly scattered. I am going to at least get the one off the bottom. The side one might end up in it. Not 100% sure, but we're going to go ahead and cut the bottom off of this first and then work from there. So I'm literally going to align this panel. Instead of selvage to selvage, I'm going to straighten it this way, sideways, and get all wrinkles and folds out of it and make it nice and straight about right there. And we're going to, wow, this is a very crooked panel. Very crooked panel. Yeah, we're going to have a duck out the window. All right, that gets rid of it there, and that will be in that too. Okay, so I'm going to grab a bigger ruler here, and I'm going to cut this whole bottom real tree off, and then we're going to rectangle up the whole entire panel. And I'm just going to throw all these panel scraps into my scrap bin because I don't need the real tree part, but I can get a string off of the rest of all this, you know, get strings out of it. So I don't want that. All right, so I'm going to turn the whole thing around. That was nice and straight. And my mat is not big enough, but we're going to make sure that everything's still flat all the way to one other side right here. And then I'm going to cut off this whole top part. And it's not equal on both sides, so that's still on a line. That's nice and straight. All right. Don't need any of that. Now everything's straight that way. I'm going to carefully fold it in half. Line up my two straight edges onto each other and then line up my fold onto itself. And then I'm going to cut this side off. But I do need to be aware that my inner one is not even passing a line on my cutting mat. So we're going to line that up on a line, line that up on a line. That's crossing the line right there. So I'm losing a lot of panel right now, but we're going to make this work. It was on the 27, right? Yeah, on the 27. All this is straight, all that straight, this is straight, everywhere straight. All right, so that's just going to go in my strings bin. Now I have a panel that's however big this is. So here's my panel.
Suppose that's a Canadian goose.
Ah, all right. So now I want to turn my panel.
So it can be a duck goose.
Yeah.
A goose duck.
Yeah. I'm going to turn my panel now here, and I'm going to tell you how big it is. It is 33 inches at this point by, just because you guys want to know, so remember these numbers if you want to do this again, 33 by 36, 37. So 33 by 37 is what this is. But we're not going to do the math kind of panel today. I am literally going to slice off a certain amount of both sides and off the top and bottom. I'm just going to smooth this whole thing out. I'm going to line everything back up on the mat. There. That looks good there. That's nice straight there, 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 and there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead now. Let's see how far over his head is. Yeah, some of them's going to be over there. Some of them's going to be over here. We're going to lop off. Lop off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 inches on both the sides. 6 inches on both my sides. So I'm going to just cut 6 inches off of that side, turn my ruler, line it up on the 6 on this side, right here. I'm going to go ahead and chop off 6 inches on that side. I'm going to leave everything. I'm not moving nothing. And I'm also going to chop off 6 inches off the top and bottom, which is going to happen at the same time because the panel is literally folded in half. So
What's your cutting mat?
my cutting mat is 24 by 36. Oh, it's Fiskars. It's a Fiskars brand.
And
So
put the link.
Scott put the link in for it. I'm lifting up my ruler, relining everything up, and cutting. There we go. 6 inches off the top, bottom, and 2 sides. That should put my duck, or whatever it was, almost in the exact center.
He's a goose
Almost.
duck. He's a honky quack.
Yeah.
Quacky honky.
So I'm going to lay him out right here. We don't know his measurements at the very moment, but we're just going to lay him up here so that you guys can see, because I'm going to be separating all this. The parts and pieces that we have created here. I'm going to separate it all. This would be this top piece. This would be, that would be the bottom right here. This would be the top. This would be the bottom. That. And this would be the top. So this is how it's been cut. And that's the bottom. So now we're going to,
I like that.
yeah, now we're going to make our window frame off of this. So we're going to actually measure these pieces so that we can do this nicely. Oh, sorry guys, we have to adjust the camera for these kind of things. All right, I need my shadows first. So we're going to do 1.5 inch strips. And I'm going to make my corners first. So I have 2 colors that'll be here. So I have 1 corner, 2 corner, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to make 9 half square triangles of my 2 colors. So we're going to start with that. I'm trying to make this like so simple for all of you guys to follow here, you know. Straighten my fabric out right here first. And I'm going to cut 1 2-inch strip from each of these colors so that I can make 1.5-inch half square triangles from that one and from this one, because we're just going to do 1.5 inch. We're going to make this one seem less deep, I guess is the word. You know, the other one we did the 2.5 inch, I think. So this one we're going to do 1.5 inch. All right. So I need to start with 2-inch so that we can make half square triangles. We really didn't need as much as we are cutting, because we only need to make 9. We just need 9 half square triangles. And we're going to get 2 from each cut. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 half square triangles so far. 5, 6, 7, 8 half square triangles, and then 1 more cut will give me way more than I need, but we're going to cut them anyway, because I always put my scraps in a scrap bin. So I'm cutting out 2-inch squares. Just need 1 of these. Come on. All right, and then we'll set this aside until we cut our 1.5-inch strips. All right, so let's make some half square triangles 2 at a time. I'm just going to sew on both sides of a drawn line that I really didn't draw, but we're going to pretend I did. What? Scott put a link in for the Etsy. Uh-oh. If you just type in Groff Quilting on Etsy, it'll come up with my channel. My Etsy thing. Just in case, if you forget, it's just my last name. Which, if you're new to my channel, you probably didn't even know that. Oh, I had a bobbin because I did not prep anything today. I just did what I did. Didn't even get far. Goes to show. Got to change that every now and then. All right. Put it back where it was. Come on. You can go ahead and plug the iron in.
Eric get the apartment he wanted?
Yeah. Yep, Eric got his apartment. He's moved in. He just needs to start organizing and setting everything up. All right, so I'm going to do the same as I always do. I'm just going to trim these half square triangles. They're going to be 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to use the 1.5 inch mark on my ruler. Line 1.5 inch there, 1.5 inch there. cut it. I'm lining up just the points of where the 1.5 inch mark is on my ruler with my stitch line. Sorry, I couldn't even get the word out. And you can do these any size you want. If you want like a more deeper looking window, you can do bigger pieces like we did last week. Or you can do them like this. I think actually we did 2-inch last week. Now that I think about it. I don't mind making a couple half square triangles, but when you got to make like, I think that came out smaller than it was supposed to. I think my ruler slipped. Yeah, my ruler slipped. It's okay. I have more than I need anyway. I don't mind making a couple half square triangles, but when you got to make like 300 of these, it sure gets daunting. Pretty sure you guys all feel the same thing, that it gets daunting after a while. The more and more you do. When it's just a project that only needs a couple, it's perfectly fine. One more. Okay. Now I'm going to press all these. There are my scraps. And then we're going to put them up on the wall, but we need to find out how big our panel pieces are, because at this point we actually don't know what size they are. I'm going to also press these all towards the darker color. No, you don't have to move the camera.
Are you going to sew any more of those? I wanted to see you sew them.
Oh, no.
Well, you.
Scott's going to bring you guys a little visitor.
Oh.
There's the kitty coming to say hi.
Not too hot and I'm sleeping all day.
It's too hot. That's what he's saying.
Too hot and he sleeps all day.
He's sleeping all day. He's tired.
He's tired of this heat.
Yeah, this is the last month of consistent heat. And then it'll start to kind of cool down a little bit, at least at night.
It don't get cool till November.
All right. Half square triangles are made. I'm going to go ahead now and get rid of the dog ears on 9 of these because I only need the 9. Sometimes scissors are faster. What is that, 3? This makes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. All right. We're going to stick these like this. Right now everything's really separated, but when we start putting it all together, it'll start looking different. There. Because we got to find out how big everything is. Because we don't know at this exact moment. This is the whole part of making things up as you go. You don't really know. I know that this is the 6 inches. These are 6 inches. I know that part. but we don't know how long every area is. There, and this one will go there. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-inch white by 6-inch by 1.5 inch. So we should get that off of 1.5 inch cut off of our white. Get all 6 off of this. There. Selvage off. Flop it and cut 6-inch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to place these. Obviously, you cannot see the white because we are next to white. There, there, and 2 more here and there, right there. Now we need to figure out the distance between here and here. These ones should be 6 inches down here, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 more. That are 6 inches by 1.5 inches. No, no, nope, those are gray. I mean, brown. The white needs to be, sorry, I'm ahead of myself. The white is this distance, and this distance. So I need 3 that are however wide this is, which we don't know until we measure because we just cut randomly. So they're 21 inches. Ooh, do I get 21 inches from my fold? I do. So I will get 2, and I'll have to cut 1 more 1.5 inch strip by 21 inches. So this one will go here, that back. And this one should be 21 inches, and the next one up should be 21 inches. So I'll cut 1 more 1.5 inch white strip, and then we'll move on to 3 of the other ones cut off. We just need 1 21-inch piece off of here. Just one. Open it up. Come on. And cut 21 inches. There. And over there. So there's that one. Oh, wow. That's not 21 inches. Interesting. 22 inches. I must have threw the 21-inch one over there, and this one is the leftover. There we go. Yep, I threw the wrong one to the side. That's okay. All right, now to cut the other color. We'll find out how long this distance is, and we'll need 1, 2, 3 pieces, whatever that length is, but we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 1.5 by 6 inch pieces. So there's my 1.5. Slice off the selvage and cut 6 inches. The little ruler works better for this. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that over there. place these where they go. There. Well, that's definitely not what it's supposed to be right there, but we're going to fix it because the panel was wonky. Sometimes if your panel is wonky, not everything is going to be exact. Like this was way short right there. It must have like bowed funny. That's okay. We're still going to make it work. And now we need this length right here, which is 25 and a half. So we need 25 and a half inch pieces. So I'm going to cut 3 strips because you can't get it from just one. So I'm going to 3 1.5 inch strips off of here. 2 and 3.
What's a good plan on colors for doing shadow for a t-shirt quilt with navy blue and gold?
For a shadow on a t-shirt quilt? I have no idea. You mean to make them look like they're floating? Like the t-shirts?
I don't know. Navy blue and gold, wouldn't it just black or gray?
Black or gray, yeah. 2 different tones of gray.
Yeah,
Or black and charcoal.
You could do a white and a gray, or yeah, black and charcoal.
White and gray, yeah. Just lining these up, and we're going to cut all 3 of them at 25 and a half inches at the same exact time. I'm going to line it up past that, all on a line. Trim all this off. Come down here to 25 and a half. Right there. So that should be here. There. And there. Okay, now to sew all this together. So I'm going to start with this one right here. I'm just going to bring this whole block down and try to keep it straight. I will have to adjust things because, again, my panel was a little messed up. So I'm just going to put this right sides together and sew this. All right, let's put my seam guide back on. Line it up. I'm going to go ahead and press this towards the dark one. I'm going to put this white piece on here. This time I'm going to do one section at a time since my panel was a little funky. I'm going to press this one towards that color. I'm going to put them right sides together and sew it on, nesting up that seam. All right, I'm going to press it, trim it, and then put it back where it goes. What other side of the panel? I did not forget anything that I know of at the moment. Okay, so that's that. Put that there. So now we're going to put this one together. So
what were your 3 measurements when you cut the panel?
I cut 6 inches off of both sides and then off of the top and bottom. So I cut the you'll have to rewind it back because I don't remember. It was 31 or something, or 33 by 37 or something like that, or 31 by 37. I have no idea. It was something like that. I knew it was something like that. Like I said, my panel was messed up even after cutting it, so I'm improvising. You guys don't have to do this. But I want it to work, so I'm doing what I can to make it work. So I'm using the iron to press this back real quick before I put the bottom piece on it. All right, so I'm just gonna lay it right here for now and add the bottom to it. Finger press that, place it on there. Yep, that's the correct direction, and then sew it on. Making sure my seam is nesting. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and press this towards the panel is the way I've been pressing everything. Well, except for the taupe color, I'm pressing that towards the taupe color. All right, so this one can get put back in place. Just like that. And now let's build this one. Sew it on and then cut it off. How about that? Probably would have turned out a lot better if I could have just opened the whole panel up and cut. But obviously I didn't do that. So that goes that way, yep. Trying to keep everything the correct direction instead of turning it or flipping it. This bottom one on. Finger press that this way. Put it right sides together. And sew it on. All right, let me press this and then put it back. There. All right, I'm gonna start from the top again. This together. We're gonna grab its bottom parts. Just lay them right there. All right, we're gonna sew this side on. And yep, I'm trimming stuff off because, again, mine is not working out perfectly. But when does it ever? Just improvise. All right, finger press that this way. Attach.
What do you think about the brother that does sewing and quilting?
What brother that does sewing and quilting? Because a lot of machines, as in almost all machines, you can sew and quilt on. I only have one kind of brother machine other than an embroidery. So I don't know nothing about other machines other than my TL2010Q Juki, my Juki HCLF 600, and I have a brother machine that's the 925 S, I don't remember, something. I forgot already. SQ9285, that's what my brother is. It's the only one I know about. I used to have a Project Runway before that, and you can quilt on that as well. I also had some Singer machines, and you can quilt on those as well. You can quilt on whatever machine you want. It's just free motion quilting. As long as you can put your feed dogs down, even if you can't, but as long as you can, it makes it better. All right, put that there. I'm going to do this little guy first because I'm standing and I might as well just get it done. There. On there. All right, take this over and press it and then put it back where it goes. The nice part about having the design wall now is better than having a design floor for me because I could actually put things back where they go. All right, I'm going to attach this right here to this big, huge piece. Very carefully take it off the wall so I don't drop anything else. Put this guy on here. Oh. There we go. Take it over to the iron. Press it back. Oops. And I've gone and probably wrinkled the darn thing. Stay just like that. Grab the long bottom. Place this on here. Oh. First time today, knocked the thread out. Try that again. Right. That way with that. And place this on the bottom.
Is there a favorite long arm pattern you use a lot, or is there an easy one that a lefty could catch on to?
All long arm patterns are pretty easy that I do. I guess the most common one, like for these kind of quilts, I would do a meander. That's probably the easiest to do, or loop-de-loop. And if you're left-handed, it doesn't. I've quilted blindfolded and left-handed, so I'm pretty sure you can quilt with your left hand.
Well, what's your favorite pattern?
I would, a go-to is a meander or a loop-de-loop because it goes with everything. Wow, this is like really wonktified. My panel. Sorry, guys. My panel is wonktified. I knew as soon as I started moving it and cutting into it, it was going to be one of those panels to seem like it from the start. But that's okay. We're going to make this work. I always do. All right. Smooth that out. And do this lower one. On sit-down free motion, a meander is probably the easiest, though, honestly, depending on, the throat space of your machine and how hard you want to try. The meander would be the easiest. Huh? Oh, you're talking to the kitty. right, I'm going to add the bottom here and right here. Make sure that I stick it on there correctly. I don't want to have to rip anything. Not today. All right. Place this on here. Nest my lovely seam down here. All right, I'm going to take it over and press it real quick.
So does the right side of the panel not get any 1.5-inch strips?
Nope. It'll get sealed off as it's a window. This time we're looking at the window from the right instead of the left. All right. So that will go there. And then one more. No, two more. I got this long one. Grab its bottom piece real quick. Chain that on there. No, when you make an attic window or window pane quilt or whatever you want to call these things, it's the shadowing goes on just one side. But you could put it on both sides if you want and make it look like it's folding in, you know? So it would be the darks on the side and like, I don't know. I don't know how it would look, honestly. But you could if you wanted to because it's your quilt and you do what you want with it, you know? But I've not even seen pictures of attic window quilts like that. So I wouldn't even know how it would look. All right, I'm going to press this. And we have one more piece together. And then we'll cut some black strips to make the window itself. This is just the window shadow.
Hey, did you want to start an auction soon?
And if you, not while this is on the wall.
I'm going to hang it on the side.
Oh. Okay. We're going to start an auction then.
I can see this whole side.
And
Right there.
and it's going to start.
Or should I do a small?
Just do that one. You already held it up. Just put it on that side.
Yep. There we go.
We're going to run an auction on a table runner. It's going to start off at 10.
Yeah, drop. I got it.
Now I have to figure out which way it goes. That way. So it's you guys have probably seen the video of me making that table runner, or at least a bunch of table runners, because you know I couldn't just stop at one. Remember, it's free shipping in the United States. If you're outside the United States, you need to pay your shipping. All right, I'm going to press this one. Nice and flat, and then we're going to cut out the black to put in between the whole thing. So I'm going to just scoot it over a little because that thing is in my way.
Well, I can move it to the other
No,
side.
it's fine right there. I'm going to cut some, we're going to do 1-inch pieces on this one for our window. this time. There we go. It's out of the way. Yeah, it's tea kettles. All right, we're going to get some black fabric here. I'm going to go ahead and cut some 1-inch strips off of it. Just going to open it up, straighten it up, and cut some 1-inch strips off of here. Here. All right, I'm doing 1 inch. You don't have to do 1 inch, but I'm going to do 1 inch for this one this time. So I'm just going to cut 1, 3, 4, 5 strips off of here. No, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to cut 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more, 8. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut however big each one of these is. I'm going to cut them to size and then put them back up on the wall. Why? Because I can. Cut them to size. Oh, I just need 1. Right there and right there. So you don't have to do it this way. You could actually measure, but I'm going to do my own thing real quick. I'm going to cut all my bottoms first and add those in, cutting it to size, laying it on my cutting mat, lining everything up, and moving it all at the same time because I can't grab just one piece of fabric. There. Right here. That one goes at the bottom of this one.
What stitch length do you recommend for sewing Minky?
For sewing Minky, I would use a 2.5 stitch length. Goes on this one at the bottom. I don't know my side yet until those are sewed on. I'm right now just doing the bottoms of everything. Oh, that's almost exactly the right size. Look at that. He's going to hold that up to the camera, I think, is what he's doing. So that you can see the quilting. That one, what has it got on it? Meander.
That's Tiffany's go-to.
My go-to, especially like table runners and stuff, is a meander. But I do have fun with all that kind of stuff too. I don't just do only the same thing all the time. Just sometimes. Cutting all these to size. So I don't have to measure. I just lay it next to it and cut it. He's going to hang up the back so that you can see it. Did you hold that up to the camera?
Yes.
Right there. And then this one. I just need the bottom. Need another strip. That could be used for the other one. Open this up. Okay. I probably should be sewing them, then putting them back on the wall. Put that there. And then 2 more pieces for this side, and then we'll do the opposite side. 1. And then the bottom of this one. 2. Right there. All right. Now I'm going to sew all these on. And then we'll get the next size of the other way. So I'm going to start with up here. That way I get everything on the side I wanted it to be on. Pressing all these towards the black. Put that there. Sew this one on here. I'm going to stand because I'm going to make this go a little bit easier on myself. So up and down, because that hurts my hips. I just have to find my foot pedal to be able to stand. All right. This is looking nice. And this one. What is it at?
Whatever she wants to pay.
Dawn.
Yeah, she's bidding against herself.
Dawn is bidding against herself.
Yes.
Oh. Well, then it's sold to Dawn. Yep,
So if
right
she can
there.
pay either price.
Sold to Dawn for bidding against herself, and I don't know the number, but whatever.
Either 35 or 40.
All right, so this one on now.
What's the 5-house table runner?
5-house table runner. I don't know what that is.
Any of these? These are the table runners we're doing.
No, I have no idea.
It's from the Open Gates project box.
From the Open Gates project box. I haven't got my Open Gate box this month yet. That's why there's not a video yet. So I don't know. I have a Juki TL 2010Q. But I also have a Juki HZL F600. And I also have a Juki industrial machine. But Scott put the link in.
The 5-house panels from a few months ago. That's what they look like.
5-house panel from a few months ago. Is it the one with the butterflies? Because I don't know. I don't always remember my projects. They're hanging on walls in my house. I keep most of my Open Gate ones for myself. Or at least I try to. Scott says no on some of them. Then I do too, because some of them weren't my thing. But I make the projects for the videos, so either way I make them.
makes 5 houses together.
Oh yeah, I did that one. It's in another room.
So
It's
it's
with-
not with our auction pile here?
No.
So
No, it's a fancy quilted one. It's in the other room.
oh, it's a fancy quilted one.
Yeah.
So it's not up for auction today either way.
It is not up for auction today, no. It'll probably eventually go up for auction. I just haven't got that far. We try to spread them out.
Have you ever watched The Homely House with Kate?
Yes, I've watched The Homely House. I've watched lots of videos, but not lately because I have not been on YouTube. Well, I am for myself, but not.
You've had MS issues. And
I'm
you have
having.
plumbing issues.
I have. My legs are in a flare. That's why I'm sitting, standing, and all that stuff lately. It's driving me crazy. Can't sit for long periods. Can't stand for long periods. I just need to move, or else it's irritated and the numbness and tingling gets bad. But we also blew a pipe in a wall in our house in the garage and flooded the garage. So we have plumbing issues right now, and our house is a disasterly torn up. We've been going to all the stores to get the supplies, of tearing walls out, and it's just been a disaster. Again, like I've said before in previous videos, being a homeowner sometimes sucks. But, we can't have bursted wall pipes. Got to have those fixed as soon as possible. Oh, the one that's up for auction starting at 10, that's up now. It is a table runner hanging up. It's blues and florals, and it is quilted in flowers. All right.
They're not all meanders. That one has flowers.
Yep, that one has flowers on it, quilted on it, in blue thread. Yep, in blue thread. Scott will hold it up close when he gets a chance. I have one more to sew on, and then we can start measuring the side pieces and then assembling the whole thing. Oh, that goes on the bottom. And this one goes on here because I already sewed that one on. All right, now we're going to start measuring our pieces for the opposite direction of the windows. So since this is already down, I'm just going to go ahead and measure it. So it's going to be going on the taupe side. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up a strip. And I'm going to cut it to size, and then I'm going to just sew it on while I'm right here because it'll make it a little easier for me, which I should have did in the first place. Cut them and then sew them, but selvage off real quick. Lay it on to size. Come down to this end. Make the cut. Sew it on. You'll see this start to come together really nicely. Oh, the fabric shifted when I cut it. Sorry guys, I'm not all me. I'm not normal right now, so I'm a little off and things are going off at the same time. Whatever, I will have a seam right here.
Take your time.
And then I sewed the seam on the wrong direction.
Move it up and show them what's going on.
I sewed my seam on the wrong direction. All right, here we go. The only thing about 1-inch strips, they don't stay still when I was trying to cut it. That's okay. Nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect. I show you all my mistakes right here live in front of your face. So you know that it's not just you, it's me too. We all struggle with aspects in our quilting.
Have you ever thought about speaking of clubs or guilds?
I don't speak at clubs or guild. You want to hear the funniest thing? So let me put this on the wall so my brain stops not forgetting or whatever the word is I'm thinking of. The funniest thing in the whole wide world is I can be right here on a live stream in front of all of you. I'm not nervous, I'm silly, I'm goofy, I'm just me. But in front of an audience, that's a whole different story. I cannot talk at all. I lose it. I become a whole different person. It's like the devil takes over and says, bah! I don't know what to say. Like, you know, I can't public speak. I was never even good. Like, I was good at gymnastics in front of a lot of people because there was no verbal anything coming out, you know? But I couldn't sing in front of other people, and I cannot speak in front of other people. But on camera, I can, because guess what? You guys are not right here in front of me. So don't ask. The weirdest thing, right? I'm just not a... Come on. I'm not a public speaker. I've been asked to teach classes and all sorts of stuff. I can't do it, so I always decline.
On the headbands that you made, can they use fat quarters to make them?
Can what?
On the headbands that you made, can they use fat quarters to make them?
Yeah, you can use fat quarters to make the headbands, for sure. You can make them out of whatever you want. You can use fat 8s even, or whatever. All right, we got one on that side now. Now we need one on this side. I'm just using all these little pieces and hooking them on as I go. Scott's going to bring that one up close. Oh yeah, that one's got butterflies and flowers quilted on it. Totally forgot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, look at the back. It's got butterflies.
Looks like it's more than just flowers.
Yep, it's butterflies and flowers.
Oh yeah, there's butterflies.
Yeah, there's butterflies and flowers on that one. Okay, I need one on this one. I'm just gonna lay it on there, then cut it to size right here. Wonky. All right, where was I? Up here. Now for this right here. Oh, not the right size. Almost though. Can't even cut today. Like, not working properly.
Okay, I think we can call this one 50.
It's at 50 to whom? Kathy going once. 50 to Kathy going twice. sold to Kathy for $50. Make sure you email us at tiffanysquiltinglife at yahoo.com. Okay, that's not the right size. Let's cut from this. I'm just adding 1-inch strips now, and then we'll go around the whole entire thing with 1 inch. After we hook them all together. All right, that one goes there. Do this big one. Oh, wow, look at that. Almost perfect. Laying it on it instead so that the fabric sticks to the fabric. Smarter. Smarter that way. Oh, perfect. There we go. I think this window will look just fine. Right, I need to do 2 more pieces, and then we can put all the squares together. Or rectangles, squares and rectangles. That's technically what all this is. And I'm not doing it the right way by, cutting the pieces to size like this. You probably should measure then cut, but I'm technically measuring and cutting. Everything should be equal, obviously. This section, and this section should be equal in their length. This one, and their width, and so on for the rest. I'm just kind of doing it the lazy me way. Still comes out flat for me, so that's all that matters is I have a flat quilt to quilt when I'm done. Oh, this one's going to look so nice.
Is duck cloth the same as canvas?
Duck cloth is kind of like canvas, yes. It's thicker. It can be used indoor, outdoor, but you can also use it to make a quilt. When I was beginning, I used a whole bunch of different kind of stuff to make quilts, duck included. It even says duck cloth. If you go to Walmart and buy it, it says duck cloth. That's what it's called. I'm not sure exactly what its intended use is. Maybe curtains, like the thickness of it. All right. This is the last one. Now we're going to put them all together. I'm going to sit down for that part. I'm in the way of standing already. And then all we have to do is those 2 last strips for the top and the one side. So I'm gonna put these two together. So right sides together, just gonna line it up, sew them together. I'm also going to be pressing towards the black on all of this. Add the top piece to it, making sure before I sew. All right, so I'm gonna press this at the iron real quick so that it's nice and flat. Okay, let's put the center together. Go ahead and put these. There. Okay, this one's going to be off a little. Man. Needs to land right there. We're going to make it work because that's what I do. Line this end up. All right, I'm going to go press this one now the opposite direction. Oh yeah, that lined up. Okay.
What's better for making the cornhole bags, canvas or duck cloth?
Cornhole bags? I have no idea.
That game where you threw it in
The
circle?
cornholes, I would say canvas probably would last longer for the constant tossing. I don't know why people call it cornhole. I used to call it toss across.
Yeah, I never heard that name until I moved out here.
Yeah, I never
I never
heard it called cornhole. We called it toss across as a kid when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. I was more of a teenager in the 90s, but still, you know what I mean. Yeah, we even had the toss across game. We had toss across tic tac toe. That was fun. All right, press this. Hang it up. Sew that top onto it in a minute. After we sew the bottom together. And I'm going to press these towards the black again. The other one, I pressed these towards the panel. That way when I put my seams together, they'll nest.
do the colorful roosters next.
All right, Scott's bringing up another auction. We're gonna start it off at $10.
Hey, I like the color.
This one is
It's
colorful.
better than one $10. Scott likes this one.
Colorful roosters. All right, I'm gonna go over there and press these once he's out of my way. Go. And then we're gonna hook the top and bottom on. And then all we have to do is attach our sides and then cut some border. All right. So this is gonna go on right here. I'm also going to make sure that when I get to this section where the black is, that it's lined up so that my picture stays lined up. I go ahead and start sewing that. I'll line up my seams right here. Come on. Stay, just like that. And that one is pressed opposite, so that's nice and flat. Come over to here and hold this next seam. Here. And nicely nest it up. Make sure my end seam is nested. Scott's bringing the.
Well, you were there sewing, so I thought it'd be easier just to do that. Sorry. Sorry, I'll go back.
It's fine. Okay, so I'm pressing this seam now. And we'll attach the top and the two sides. Come on. All right. I'm just going to lay this right here so that I can put the top on it. Grab this down. Place it together.
Cosmic roosters. Oh, man.
Yeah, cosmic roosters. And the back is actually little chicks.
Don't tell them it's a surprise. And it's quilted with quillies.
And it's quilted with, I call those eggs with
Oh.
yolks.
It's quilted with eggs.
I call those eggs.
Look at all the little chickies all over the back.
It's actually a double loop-de-loop, but I call them eggs because it looks like an egg with a yolk. It's great for chicken fabrics.
Cosmic roosters. Chicken.
Nesting my
That is so
seams.
cool.
All right, I'm going to press this back and then we'll add the two sides. not in my way. All right, we just have 2 sides to add. Just gonna, oh, screw it. We'll just do it this way.
Should I take it off? I can take it off.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna cut off my selvage, start my end, and then just sew it to size, and then do my last strip, sew it to size, and then we'll cut out the border for around this, which in my window world, I call it my wallpaper, because technically the black is your window frame, and this is your shadowing looking out the window. So if you put a border around it, it's your wallpaper. You could even go as far as making these. These are so cool. So just imagine this. Make a window pane or attic window quilt, right? Hang it up on a dowel, which is a rod, in whatever room you want to add your window to, and then make curtains and hang them on your window, on your rod, your dowel that you hung your quilt up with. Hang them on that, and it looks like curtains around your window. Make it look very realistic in your basement that has no windows,
Will this be a lamp?
This will be a wall hanging lamp, whatever it gets used for. I don't know.
Would it be big enough to be a lamp, though, or would it be baby?
This will be big enough to be, I don't know. We'll see. This is like literally sitting on the couch, only covering the top portions of your legs, kind of size probably. All right, I'm gonna go ahead now, grab the other one, cut the selvage off. I'm gonna finger press this back just right here, and then I'll press it with the iron in a second once it's on. Oops, I cut that end off. It's probably not even going to be long enough anyway. We'll see right now. Oh yeah, funny. All right. Hold this back, cut this off. I'm going to press it, put it on the wall, and then we'll decide on how big we want our border, because I only have 1 yard of fabric to work with. Probably going to do to make it bigger, probably like 4 inches, 4.5 inches. Because it's wall hanging size only right now, literally. It won't be any bigger than a wall hanging at this point. I mean, you could put this on a lap if you wanted, but to me, this is wall. So here's so far. Just hang it up here. All right. I just need to add my border. Yeah, I'm going to do 1 yard, so let's cut 5-inch strips. Because I have a yard here. Might as well. Yep, I'm going to do 5-inch strips for the border. It'll increase its size. It'll look really nice. So I'm going to cut 5 5-inch strips because I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Yeah, because this top and bottom is going to have 5 extra inches. So, yep, need 1 more. 5. All right. Move that there. Cut all the salvages off. One more.
Call this for 50.
All right, we're at 50 to whom?
Grace McGee, I believe.
Grace. All right. What did you say, 50 again?
Grace McGee, yeah.
All right, 50 going once. 50 going twice. Sold to Grace for 50. Don't forget to send us an email letting us know how you would like to pay. We use PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, preferably Zelle, but it don't really matter. And then we get that situated. All right, so I'm sewing my borders on the way I like to do it, just, you know, sewing them on, cutting them as to the size I want. Bad habits will never change. All right. I'm going to fold it, cut it to size. There. Put the other side on while I'm right
Have you
here.
ever made a lap-sized quilt with a pocket in the front or hands to go in to keep warm? Something like a nursing home would use?
I have not made a quilt with purposeful pockets for like nursing home wheelchair quilts or anything, but I have put pockets on t-shirt quilts, leaving the pockets on it and quilting around it so that the pocket is usable. But I have not purposely made a pocket on a quilt for hands. Like hoodie pockets or something, kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure that could be something that you add after you're done piecing the whole quilt and quilting the top, because you definitely should have it quilted and then add a pocket to it by top stitching the whole thing on. Because if you build it, add the pocket, and then quilt around that pocket, you might not be able to, you'll have some quilt sag or the ability to rip that quilt apart by putting your hands in the pocket and not having that area quilted, because you're going to need more than 2 hand spaces, and most batting needs, to be a little bit more tighter than that quilting wise. So I would say for structural integrity purposes, you could probably add a pocket to any quilt. But I would add it after quilting. All right. I'm going to press these and then we'll add a top and bottom. Ooh, this is like the perfect border too. It doesn't even go with this panel and it looks great with it. I think my quilt is crooked too. Get off of that. Go. Kitty's trying to get himself in trouble because Daddy turned his back on him. All right. Move that out of the way. Move all that over there. Move that up out of my way. And this and yeah, okay. Scott's holding up another table runner
With snowmen on.
with snowmen on it for
They said they
Christmas.
want Christmas, so.
So it's starting off at 10. All right, we need to put a bobbin in. And there is videos how to make the quilts, the table runners that you have seen so far on auction today. All right. Put this on here. I'm also going to start it about right here. That way my seam is not at the edge because I definitely don't like when my seam is at an edge. All right, here we go.
When combining regular yardage for quilt backing, do you sew it side to side or top to bottom?
When I make quilt backing, I try to have my seam, so I make the top part and then the seam and then the bottom part. I try to do it that way, unless it's directional. But that's only because I have a long arm and I prefer my seam to go horizontally, not vertically. So, but if it is vertical, I just load the quilt sideways. So, unless it's got to be centered, then I center it on the floor first, mark it, and then load it, then center everything to the markings, which I do a lot with client quilts because a lot of clients send me quilts that need centered. Alright, almost done with this one. And then we just have one more side. Scott's gonna bring the quilt up for you guys, the table runner up for you guys to see the back, and the quilting is just straight stitch quilting on that. Stitch and a ditch. All right, I'm gonna add the other side. Last he saw it was at 45. Upside down, right side up.
On back, the words only go one way.
Yeah.
What's the name for the color that you're using on the border? Is there a name?
The border fabric is something from Andover. It didn't have a name. It was something from Andover. Ron something or Roy or I don't even know. Nope, that only says Andover as well in the trash. Joe Morton for Andover. That's all it says on it. top of itself. Make a cut. All right, let me press it and I'll hang it up so you guys can see this style of an attic window. Now it's lap size, by the way. Just took some borders. Big borders, that is. My quilt is a little wonky, but that's okay. I never said I made perfect quilts. I strive for my best when I don't feel good. That's all I can give. And that's all you should do too. Do your best. All right. Ready for the different style attic window? Well, here it is. I'm not even sure that's hanging straight. I can't tell. It is kind of crooked, like I said. It's not perfect. This is definitely off a little. All right, let's see how big. It turned out. $50 by 46. 46 by 50 is what it turned out, and it looks like this side is shorter than that side. So it's probably like, I told you guys I'm not perfect at this, and it doesn't matter, but I'll tell you anyway. 49 and a half, and this one's gonna be like 50 and a half probably. Oh, it's 50 and a half. It's an inch off on one side than the other. That is okay.
Still, it's awesome.
That's a different style. It's an inch off. I don't care. But look, my duck is in the center. It looks like he is off though right here a little. This matches, but that does not, unless that's just the way the duck looks. I don't know. But he's mostly centered, so that's all that matters. So that is a different style. So I guess that's going to conclude the whole making of attic windows or window panes, because like I said, you guys can do whatever you want with attic windows and window panes. There's so many styles you can choose from. You can have another cut right here, just this, where it's like smaller to bigger of a window, or you could cut it on the diagonal. You could do a circle if you have the tools to make a circle and then do dash marks around it. Like you have one of those windows that's a circle in the middle, and then it has the, I guess it would be rhombus cubes would make the outside part, you know, with straight window pieces. I think that would look cool because, you know, round attic window. You can turn it into a stained glass by just making random cuts from your panel and just connecting it all together with black, you know, a thin layer of black fabric. So I would do like 7/8 of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. That way you only have a 1/4 inch of black in there. But that's for people who like really tiny piecing. So you can cut your panel into a ton of different pieces and make it look stained glass. You know, you can do whatever you want with your panels. It's your panels. It's your quilts. Have fun with it. Yeah, it's this piece right here that threw the whole thing off. Anyway, I don't care. I've never cared. All right, what are we at with this?
0.75.
Oh, they're still going? Okay.
It's a real fight on this one. This one went for more than the rooster one. That's what I was saying. I can't believe it. I think the rooster one was the coolest one of the day.
Well, we're just waiting on that. It's still going? Yeah. This really matches, like totally perfect. Like it was meant to be. It looks like what these look like, the tips, you know, on the, what is this stuff called again? I forgot. I can't believe I'm a whole inch off. Huh. I don't care. I think it looks cool. Any questions, at least while we're waiting for that to finish? I guess I'll open the video and see myself while I'm right here. Yeah, my house is over 100 years old. It's sagging. That's the perfect one right there. Who's it going to? I don't even see on here. I'm scrolling.
Kathy has faith paying for it, but get sent
All right, so it's going to Kathy has faith for someone else. Faith for someone else.
somebody else.
75 going once. I don't see it coming through anymore. 75 going twice. Bull rushes, that's what it is. And sold for 75. Make sure you contact us at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com. Yeah, both of you guys have to email us. All right. And that's that. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask. See, I like it though. You can do the crocodile one that I showed you guys that I have. That can be done with this too. I like it because I'm looking out my window this way and it looks just right. Bull rushes. Yeah, see, that's what these tips look like on this fabric right here. That's what it looks like. It looks like the tips of it, just not as long, you know, but it's cool looking. And the same thing goes with the last one. I haven't quilted it yet, but I'll quilt this in a meander too. That way I don't lose anything. And I'll probably use like I think I have a pale green or like a brownish taupey color. If not khaki. Khaki is like the main color I use on these color blends and it looks amazing. So that's what I'll probably quilt it in.
Okay, so
When did you learn how to do the measurements?
in English it's Maureen, the name we can't pronounce.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's Maureen.
Maureen.
So we're
Okay.
sorry we couldn't pronounce your
Sorry,
name.
Maureen. We couldn't pronounce your name. I asked Scott earlier what did it say because I couldn't pronounce it, and I say M every week. So now I know, Maureen. Where did I learn to do the measurements for each side? I just made them up. I like to make things up. So everything here is just measured. That's probably why this is off because I, was laying it out the way I was laying it out, and I should have probably measured a little bit better, but my original initial cut from my panel after I took it down in size was 6 inches off of each side to create the center, which it would have stayed square if I probably didn't have it on the fold, but I had it on the fold. So that would probably be my one suggestion is to just lay the panel out and just inch yourself as if you're trimming 6 inches off of each side and just lay it out as you cut your pieces, put them somewhere. I think that would probably be the best bet is to just run along one side, then the top, then down the other side, and just take 6 inches off of all 4 sides, or else you're going to end up with what I have because I folded mine. I didn't have that. A couple times I've done folded with the panel, and I've never had a problem, but this time I did. And it's not horrible. It's only an inch difference from the other side, so I mean, it's not like a big problem. Pale blue would look good too. Yeah. Do I ever use 108 scraps on the quilt fronts? Yeah, I use my scraps all the time. All right, guys. Well, yeah. All right. Thank you guys all for hanging out today. I had a lovely time putting this together for you guys so that you can see the different styles. So there's this style, and just for memory purposes, we'll bring out last week so that you guys can remember the different styles of the windows. So you can have a window that's up and down, or you can have a window that is side to side like this. Okay. So your window can be however you want it to be. So if you have a side-to-side panel, you have that way. If you have an up and down panel, you can do it this way. But you could also do this style on an up and down as well. You know what I mean? You don't have to have it like this. I just think this brings whatever center in the panel forward, and it looks great like that. So remember, you can do your panels in many different ways. Okay, so that concludes attic window or window panes for the last two Sundays. So I'm gonna move on to other things by next week. So thank you guys all for watching and hanging out, and I'm hoping you learned something. And I hope you learned not to cut like I cut, because then you'll have 1 inch on one side off than the other. But hey, you never know. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh, I said bye. Yep. Bye.
I'm trying to
I'll
find
see
that
ya.
out.
Bye. Okay, bye. Bye. See ya.